Hello, and on behalf of all of us here at The Spiritual Seek, welcome. You know that feeling like you're just a passenger along for the ride in your own life? Well, today we're diving into a framework that flips that idea on its head. It suggests you can and should be the driver. This is our guide to Reality Transurfing, a system that might just challenge everything you think you know about creating the life you really want. So let's just start with a huge question, one that gets right to the core of everything. We're all taught that reality is this thing that just happens to us, right? It's a fixed path, and our job is to just deal with it. But what if that's not the whole story? What if you have way more power to actually choose your reality than you've ever been led to believe? And look, this isn't just some feel-good philosophy. Back in the early 2000s, a quantum physicist named Vadim Zeland introduced this whole system. He actually used principles from physics to completely reframe our relationship with the world. He basically proposed that we can consciously architect our own experience. So yeah, it's less of a self-help trick and more like a completely new operating system for reality itself. Okay, so to really wrap our heads around transurfing, we first have to get on board with its most radical idea. It starts by taking our normal view of reality as this single, straight line and just throwing it right out the window. The core idea is this: we are not being swept along by some current of fate. Instead, I want you to picture reality as this infinite ocean of possibilities. Every single potential outcome, every alternate life path you can imagine, it already exists, like a wave in this ocean. So your job isn't to create the waves, they're already there. Your job is to learn how to choose which one you want to surf. So if reality is this giant ocean, how in the world do we navigate it? Well, transurfing is built on two really big foundational pillars that explain the mechanics of how this all works. The first pillar is what Zeland calls the space of variations. Imagine a library, like an infinite library, with a book for every possible life you could ever live. Every choice, every reality, it already exists as a fully written script in this huge information field. The life where you're a wildly successful artist, yeah, that book's on a shelf. The one where you moved to another country and started over, it's there too. It's just waiting for you to check it out. And this is a total game changer, right? Because it completely changes the goal. Instead of pushing and struggling and trying to build your dream life brick by painful brick, transurfing says you just need to tune your internal frequency, your thoughts, your feelings, your energy, to match the frequency of the reality you want. It's already out there in the space of variations. The work isn't about effort, it's about alignment. And pillar number 2 is the dual mirror, okay? Think of reality like a mirror, but with a bit of a time delay. It doesn't instantly show you what you want. It reflects back the energy you're consistently putting out. Your inner world, your beliefs and feelings gets projected onto this mirror, and that's what shapes your external world. This creates this constant feedback loop, and it's why just thinking positive for 5 minutes doesn't really work if your underlying energy is still vibrating with lack or desperation. Now, this ocean of possibilities isn't just empty space. Oh no. It is full of hidden currents and energetic structures that can either pull you under or help carry you forward. We have to learn how to actually navigate them. Zeland calls these invisible forces pendulums. Have you ever noticed how when a group of people all start thinking the same thought, it's like it creates its own momentum? That, right there, is a pendulum. It's a collective thought form that kind of takes on a life of its own. And its only goal is to get bigger and stronger by feeding on the emotional energy of its followers, and it often hijacks our own personal choices in the process. And listen, these pendulums aren't some abstract, mystical idea. They are deeply embedded in our everyday lives. Think about the pressure to conform in a corporate culture, the constant outrage cycles you see on social media, or the intense loyalty demanded by political parties. These are all pendulums, and they're all trying to pull on you to get you to give them your energy. Just being able to see them is the first step to taking your power back. But transurfing also points out a key disruptor that we create all by ourselves. Zeland calls it importance or excess potential. You know when you desperately need something to happen, whether it's landing that perfect job or getting into a specific relationship? Well, when you do that, you create this huge energetic imbalance. And the universe, which is always trying to find equilibrium, will actually introduce balancing forces to neutralize that pressure, which often has the effect of pushing your goal even further away. So this leads to this really powerful paradox. Letting go of that desperate need for something is often the fastest way to get it. Now, this isn't about giving up. It's about holding a clear intention while releasing the frantic emotional charge and the attachment to it. When you lower the importance, you dissolve the resistance, and you allow the universe to deliver what you want with a whole lot more ease. Okay, so this brings us to the practical side of transurfing, how you actually do this. It's all about shifting from using brute force to tapping into a state of flow, and that requires a fundamental change in how we take action in the world. So here we can see the two basic approaches. Most of us, most of the time, are operating on inner intention. We're pushing, we're striving, we're battling the world to get what we want. Transurfing introduces what's called outer intention, which is about aligning your energy with the reality you want and then allowing the world to reorganize itself to bring it to you. It's a state of purposeful surrender. It's like you're learning to dance with the universe instead of wrestling with it. One really powerful practice to help you cultivate this outer intention is the mirror technique. And this isn't just wishful thinking. When you stand in front of a mirror and you truly see yourself as if you were already living your goal, you are doing something profound. You're literally programming your subconscious mind and your entire energetic field with that new reality. And you're bypassing all the doubt from your critical mind. You are aligning your whole being with that new lifeline. Now, this is crucial. This is not about just sitting on the couch and doing nothing. You absolutely still take action, but the quality of that action totally changes. Instead of forcing yourself through some miserable to-do list based on struggle and effort, you learn to listen for and act on those little intuitive nudges, those moments of inspired action. They're the universe's way of telling you you're in the flow, and they often open doors that brute force planning never, ever could. So why learn all of this? What's the end game? Well, the goal isn't just to manifest a new car or a better job. It's about achieving a really profound shift in your consciousness and ultimately finding your true purpose. It's all about cultivating what's called the observer state. This is the ability to step back from your ego's knee-jerk reactions. From this state, you can watch life unfold without getting sucked into the drama of the pendulums or the anxiety of importance. And this is the real seat of your creative power. It's where you can calmly and consciously direct your attention and your energy toward the reality you choose, instead of just reacting to whatever life throws at you. So mastering this really means installing a completely new operating system. You start to see reality as a mirror, not as a battlefield. You learn to wield your intention, to sidestep the influence of pendulums, and to release all that resistance that's caused by excess importance. It's all about consciously managing that deep, deep connection between your inner state and your outer world. And ultimately, the purpose of transurfing goes way beyond just getting stuff. It becomes a spiritual path. It's a path to becoming who you truly are. Manifestation is just the vehicle for your soul to express itself. And all the success and amazing experiences, they're no longer the goal. They become a beautiful byproduct of you living your most authentic purpose. In the end, what this framework offers is a path to profound liberation. You're not trying to escape reality. You're learning to understand and master its rules. It's the transition from being a pawn that gets moved around by circumstance to becoming a player, a conscious, artful co-creator of your own experience. So, we'll leave you with that final thought to ponder as you go out and navigate your own space of variations. Are you the passenger, or are you the artist? As transurfing reveals, the choice, it turns out, has always been yours.